The name behind the world's most successful photographers, makeup artists, and stylists is setting up shop in the Philippines and establishing a presence in the region, putting his bets on the untapped potential of Filipino creative talent. International talent manager Jed Root is opening an office in Manila, his first in Southeast Asia, a move that's seen to make Manila a hub of creativity in Southeast Asia.
Joining us on Mornings to tell us more about his practice and his plans, top global creative agent Jed Root. Good morning, Jed.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, good morning, Jed.
Thanks for coming on the show, and welcome back to Manila, which I think now is becoming a little bit more of a home away from home now that you've setting up shop.
A little bit. I'm on the road all the time, so there's a few homes away from home, but I do love it here. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about this this big move, so to speak. I mean, this is a big step just to sort of set up shop. I mean, what prompted you to?
Well, it originally grew out of just like conversations I had with friends, you know, Filipino friends in New York, in LA, and one in particular, Al Mauricio, who is now the managing director of the office here.
Okay.
I decided to come over and check things out, and I found there is a huge untapped pool of talent here.
Let's talk about where it all began. I mean, Jed Root Inc. before it came to the Philippines and before the other global offices. You know, how did you nurture it and make it grow from? Cause I remember from a previous conversation, you weren't necessarily, you didn't necessarily know that this is what you wanted to do from the get-go.
Right, I didn't even know this existed actually. But I moved to New York with Kevin Oakwen, who wanted to be a makeup artist. Got introduced to the business that way. Did a little bit of this and that in the business, was an assistant stylist, actually did hair on a fashion show or two, got myself booked on that. I'm not a hairstylist, so eventually I figured if I could do that, I could represent other people who could actually have talent and could do it. Yeah.
But it takes talent to spot talent, I mean.
Exactly, yeah, that's my talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of talent, tell us a little bit about what the Philippines has to offer, so much so that you think that this is a good base for Southeast Asia.
Well, like I said, there's a very good local economy here in terms of fashion. Filipinos are really interested in fashion. It's a very competitive market in terms of fashion, which makes it something interesting for a business like mine. And there's a great pool of talent here, really incredible creatives.
Right.
So the plan is to sort of, you know, groom them, grow them, make Manila a local hub to service Hong Kong, Singapore, Jakarta, things like that. And then eventually, you know, for those talents that make sense, groom them to go, you know, international.
Is there a particular quality or brand of talent that you spot here in the Philippines? What's a strong point of creativity and creative talent here in the Philippines?
It's not really something you can quantify like that. Everyone's an individual, you know. Yeah.
So it's just the fact that there's a lot of
They're
different...
creative, they're hungry also, they're hardworking, you know. If they lack anything, it's self-confidence a bit, you know, with the idea that they can go international, you know.
That's wonderful to hear. So the talent exists. It's just kind of needs a little bit of a nudge to say, hey,
a little bit of a nudge and a little bit of you know, helping the business itself become a bit more professional and structured here, you know, to actually support those artists.
I know the last time that you were here, you were actually able to kind of see there was like a meet and greet kind of where people could submit certain well, I don't know if they actually submitted anything like a resume, but you know, just so that you could get to know some of the artists.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I met and chose every single artist that we decided to represent for our launch roster of talent.
All right. I mean, when we talk about the type of creative talent that you represent, I mean, what's the range of fields? I mean,
it's photographer. Well, here in the Philippines, it's photographers, hairstylists, makeup artists, fashion stylists, and we have one fantastic young fashion filmmaker.
Right.
With the other offices, it can be a little bit more broad. We have illustrators, manicurists, set designers, etc.
Right. Well. I think it's interesting to note that the way the creative business works is a lot of these fields aren't very distinct anymore. Do you agree? I mean, a lot of there's still photogrophers who sort of have got their foot in the
video
as well. Who may also be they also probably have an excellent art background. I mean, you don't come into the creative field without sort of having drawn from other fields. Do you think that's a trend, or do you think it's more of a specialized field now, or specialization in different fields is the way to go? Or
no, I mean, I think it's something that's always been around. I don't think people are really looking at the behind the scenes of the business. You know, famous Hollywood director Jerry Schatzberg started out as a fashion photographer.
Right, yeah.
You know, so yeah.
That's just the way. This is just the way things happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, talented people are talented people, and rarely it's that focus.
Right.
But to have a good career, you got to focus for a while on one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of the roster of talents, you're going to be launching, correct, along with the office. Can we find out how many there are? Or how
There's 21 artists we've signed up for the launch. Yeah.
And will you be continuously opening your doors for more? What the office?
Absolutely,
is there for?
absolutely. I mean, we just opened this week, so we need a little time to get settled with it. But absolutely, we're always looking for new talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of managing creative talent, I mean, how do you manage creative talent? I mean, in terms of what you bring as a service to these talents, to these people, how do you groom them? What services do you provide?
Well, it's pretty much everything. A lot of the back office sort of stuff. They're billing, promoting them, negotiating on their behalf, but it's also helping them to groom their work to what helping them figure out what their talent is and what they should focus on for now, what sort of direction they should take, and things like that. And also it's putting them together with the other sort of creatives, because what we do in the fashion business is it's a very collaborative sort of thing. It's a photographer, a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a fashion stylist, all collaborating together, and helping them to create their own networks and become part of teams.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there one particular field that's hotter than another at the moment in terms of people who sort of want to break into? I mean, it all falls under one big umbrella. I mean, fashion, photography, styling, and that sort of thing. Is there one particular field that is sort of a little hotter at the moment?
I'd say I get the majority of submissions I get are a little more weighted towards photographers. A lot of people want to be photographers. I guess that's Instagram.
I'm a great selfie photographer. Really
that way
master
you can
that.
be the
Maybe you'd like to manage me, Jed.
Like Jed said,
Full
you got to
package deal.
specialize.
Yeah.
Like Jed said, you got to specialize and focus on one thing. So maybe the Instagram selfie is your area of
Exactly, that's my
specialization.
niche market. My niche market. All right, so the launch is going to take place later this week.
Thursday at 71 Gramercy. You guys are coming, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. We'll take a selfie there. Yeah. Sounds good. So that's on Thursday, and we'll find out who the talents on the roster are then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Good stuff.
Well,
it's
thanks
a real
for coming
pleasure.
in, Jed.
Thanks so much for having me.
We look forward to seeing lots more of you since you'll have your office here.
Absolutely. I look forward to being here more.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Now, Manny, the movie guy, tells us about his box office picks this week.
Keep it here on Mornings at ANC.